Hello everyone and welcome back to another Backlot Banter movie review. My name is Tucker Hazel. Today I'm joined by my dog paddling co-host Tanner Dykstra, and today we're here to talk about Night Swim. This is the first theatrically released movie of the year of our Lord 2024. And I love me a good early January horror movie, and this is the archetypical early January horror movie. But if you want to talk to us about Night Swim, you can leave a comment in our comment section, or you can join our Discord server, which has a link in our description. Tanner, we've now seen Night Swim. We've been memeing this movie for a while, and it's here. What do you think?
Awful film. Really, really bad stuff coming from Jason Blum and James Wan. James Wan is a creative. Jason Blum is a producer. I don't know how much of creative input he has, but whatever happened with Night Swim should never happen again, I should say. Tucker, you watched the trailer for Night Swim. You do that.
Many times.
Yeah, many times. Too many times. And you look at that and you're like, I think I know what Night Swim is. And you're right.
Yes.
You know exactly what Night Swim is. There's no hidden bells or whistles here. It is stock, standard, barely trying horror movie.
Yeah.
With two, pretty talented performers in the leads,
Yeah.
but just totally phoning it in.
Yes.
I mean, we have Kerry Condon coming off of her Oscar nomination for Banshees of Inisherin, Wyatt Russell, who people might know from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, who currently has a show running on Apple TV Plus, Monarch, something Legacy of Monsters or something like that.
Sure, I believe you.
The Godzilla show, as many people are calling it. But really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
No, it's exceptional how little they tried with this movie, because you can see this plot being written. Okay, where have we not seen a horror movie before?
Pool.
Pool. Done. Pool. Okay. People are drowning. Something scary at the bottom of the water.
Probably ghost. Probably do ghost in the water.
Yeah, we'll do a little. What's it? Springboard? What's the thing? Diving board. We'll do a little diving board action. We'll do a little pool cover action. Yeah, that's great.
Do a pool party. Do some swimming at
Marco
night.
Polo.
Do some swimming at night.
And that is really what this movie feels like. Is idea first, everything else after, and you really feel that in the dialogue. You feel that in the plot of the fact that Wyatt Russell's character is an ex-professional baseball player who had an injury, but this
No, he has MS.
Oh, okay.
He has a degenerative muscle disease.
Sure. Well, he's sickly, and the pool is helium for water therapy, which is one of the only things I'm like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense in terms of stitching those two plot lines together. But then it just devolves into something spooky's in the pool, and a previous family that was there, so we're gonna go talk to them for a little bit, and every single plot beat you can possibly imagine. And this movie hitting, it does.
Yeah. The thing that's interesting about Night Swim, and I'm the first person to ever say that phrase, is that there's nothing uniquely bad about it.
Sure.
And that's the biggest issue.
Well, I don't know. I think the reason I would disagree is because I think the thing I'm going to mostly take away from Night Swim is that they really doubled down in the dialogue about mentioning the pool.
That's a good point.
It is really on the nose. I mean, that is exceptionally terrible writing.
Yeah.
It's just every other sequence have characters mentioning the pool constantly,
or their relationships to pools, and to this pool in particular. It's very ham-fisted, and I don't know, because I can't imagine this movie without that kind of stuff, frankly. Yeah. So hey, maybe don't make a movie where the entire premise is that you have a haunted pool.
Well, I don't even think it's that bad of an idea. I think it's just.
Well, it's not because there's a short film. It's a feature-length version of a short film that Bryce McGuire, the director, originally made.
Good idea for short film.
Yes.
Excellent idea.
I agree.
For a short film. But the problem then becomes when you're trying to extend this to a 90-minute feature film produced by a major Hollywood studio and people who got stars who people recognize, C-tier stars that people recognize. Yeah. There's not enough to work with here. And I really think that this, compared to some of the other sort of B-tier horror movies that we've gotten recently, of things like Smile, which is, good but not great, or The Invitation. Yeah. We've been reviewing these movies as they come out, and each time...
Pray for the Devil.
Sure. No, that's an M-tier movie. But this one feels like it's all about its premise, and then they just haphazardly slop together what are the themes about? What are the characters doing differently? It really feels all backgrounded.
Yes.
Especially because we talk about something like Smile, and we're like, okay, you know, the monster is trauma. The monster is trauma. There's a theme here. Yada yada. It's run to the ground. All these horror movies. What's the point of Night Swim? What is it? It's trying to say something. They keep repeating this love requires sacrifice thing. Yeah. Is that the theme of Night Swim? I don't really think it shows that by the actions of the characters. In fact, it kind of like goes against that, but they keep repeating it.
That really only becomes a thing at the third act reveal, which I don't know if we'll say spoilers, I guess, when we want to talk about that. But Tucker, what was I going to say? There was something I was going to say. We were talking about the pool, the pool-laden dialogue, as many people often are. We were talking about the fact that, the scares.
Oh, sure. These are really bad.
My point being, translating this from a short film to a 90-minute feature film, that every horror sequence is so painstakingly long.
Yep.
And the same beats, and that's why I say again, this is not unique to this film. It's very common amongst all lazily constructed horror films, where you just have these extended sequences of, what was that?
Turn the camera, turn back.
Slowly go over there and check. Oh, it was nothing. What was that over there?
Yeah.
I better... There's maybe 2 or 3 of those extended sequences here, and you can feel the editor or the director or the writer, whatever, just like pulling at the seams of trying to extend this out to feature, to 90 minutes, essentially.
And I think that the real reason that feels especially heinous in this film is it's all based around the pool.
Yeah.
Like... Easiest way. This is one of the easiest horror situations to ever avoid.
Yeah.
Don't go in the pool.
And it's not supplemented by character material at all.
Oh no.
These are incredibly flat characters.
The kid is like sickly a little bit, and he doesn't have friends.
No, he's just like a loser kid, and his dad's like a big time baseball player.
Yeah, but I thought it was something in the plot of like he was like weak or like
he hasn't hit his growth spurt.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was. Yeah. And the mom is a teacher, and the daughter is a high schooler.
She's a high schooler.
And the dad is an ex-baseball player.
Yeah.
So nothing in the character work. And I think that another thing that really bugs me about Night Swim is they do this whole backstory of the pool has a history.
Yep.
It's been killing people for generations.
Yep.
And no one's ever bothered to look into this.
Nope.
What a coincidence. This keeps happening in the same spot. This is like, there's no trickery going on there. This is a haunted pool. There are like bodies. There's demons. There's people keep getting pulled underwater. Mud's coming out of this hole.
They go to the sunken place.
They definitely go to the sunken place. But what does the Night Swim pool do? It can seemingly do just about anything. It has telekinesis. It can possess people.
I think
it can create apparitions.
It has power over water, first and foremost.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Because it can make even like cups of water vibrate like it's Jurassic Park.
It also puts it gets its juice in you. It's black.
Yes.
It's pool juice. It's Night Swim pool juice, and that's when it chooses you to. It chooses you to die or choose someone to die. You're either like... And do we want to do spoilers for this? What's going on here?
Sure, fine.
Spoilers for Night Swim. The premise, the third act twist is that you can't... It's a genie, essentially. You sacrifice someone to the pool, and then you get a wish.
Yeah.
And the wish, I guess, of Wyatt Russell's character is that... He doesn't have MS. He wants to be cured, essentially. And so the pool decides to take his son. But then also, it's very confusing. Of like, okay, so if you can believe it, it's confusing that you go into the pool and you get the sludge in you, and so that either means that you are going to die or that you can choose someone to die. I think.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think
it's just very unclear what the constraints or general premise of this pool are in terms of what is its reach, what is the thematic point of arriving here, or this being something that's been going on for generations. Again, it was really confusing to me. The pool started like cranking the pool cover and moving the glass 50 feet away. It's like, does the pool can just do anything?
The pool can do anything. It can do anything.
And also, if you are juiced, if you have the pool juice in you can't leave.
It's also like very Venom. Obviously, he's got the sludge in him, and he tries to leave, and he can't. And then he's in the shower, and like it's coming out of his veins or whatever. It's very derivative. It's very lazy. It's very poorly constructed.
Yeah. And also, unfortunately, and this is not Night Swim's fault.
Oh, sure.
But our theater had a weird projection issue where there was like this chromatic aberration around the edges of certain things.
Yeah.
Like pinks and greens would like bleed.
It was especially evident during like movement.
Yeah.
Like
daytime movement. Especially.
Daytime. Yeah. But yeah, that was definitely a projection issue for us.
But also, I mean, it's not like it's a particularly well shot movie or well lit or anything. I mean, like it is stock standard stuff, and there's like a shot or two I thought were reasonably cool imagery, especially as Kerry Condon is like saving her son and swimming up, and there are all these bodies coming up around her, and the camera's really far away. I'm like, that is the image of this movie. Sure. It is well framed. It's got this interesting lighting, but it is the only thing.
Tucker, what do you think of the pool genie himself, or the Night Swim demon?
Well, they're kind of just people with like plastic or like plaster faces. Like I think they're supposed to look bloated. Sometimes they're like stark pale white, which is what a body would be if it's bloated. Sometimes they're like charcoal black, like they've been burned. There's the little girl that died in the opening sequence who comes back. She looks fine. Yeah. But she's also good. Yeah. And she has the coin. How'd you get the coin?
It's down there. Because it's in the pool Night Swim sunken place.
Again, all these things, it could be cool imagery. I don't know. I want to give this movie the benefit of the doubt because I feel like the guy who wrote this is like, this is going to be so cool. In the promotional marketing...
He gets to make a feature-length version of his short film for Blumhouse.
Yeah.
And James Wan. And Universal Studios.
But the idea is just not... It's there, but it's not enough.
Have him do something else. I'm sure he has another idea. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't, to be fair. Yeah. But Bryce McGuire, I believe in you. You also have an original song that plays during the credits of this film,
which some of our friends thought was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, it's a pretty good song. Maybe lean into that.
Yeah,
maybe filmmaking's not for everyone. But hey, I also maybe you got recruited into this. Maybe you have a better idea. I don't know why I'm directly addressing Bryce McGuire at the end of this video, but it's a poorly made film. I'm sorry to say.
It's not very good. There's nothing uniquely memorable about it other than pool-laden dialogue that I can't wait to clip and use for memes of, man, our house is a pool. I love the pool. Oh, I can't wait to get back to the pool.
I'm nothing without this pool.
But that's really all we're going to remember it as, is the pool horror movie. Yep. And in 20 years, someone's going to come along and find it, like where we find something like Silent Night, Deadly Night, or Sleepaway Camp. Someone's going to find it in 20 years and be like, oh man, that was so cool. But that's all it kind of stands. That's his legacy. Is maybe some kid in 20 years will kind of think it's okay.
1.5 out of 10.
Yeah, 1.5 out of 10. Just nothing. Just
bad stuff.
A nice nothing movie to start off January with.
Tucker, I think you call it a good palate cleanser.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, hey, again, as I started this review, I genuinely like that there is a pattern of crappy horror movies being dumped into January. Yeah. It's something I can look forward to every year. Yep. I will forget about them. Last year we had The Gods, and there was Megan's actually a somewhat interesting and distinct movie that will now be a franchise. But we're back. We're back to the Insidious, The Last Key.
Yes.
We're back to
Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Yeah. God, The Grudge remake, LLC. And Night Swim just joins that group and adds nothing to it. Adds nothing to our cinematic diet. But we saw it, and we won't see it again.
Bye.